Ghosts, hauntings, paranormal history. Join us as we journey into the dark with your host, Mike Davis. What causes hauntings? This question's been on the mind of every ghost hunter or paranormal investigator for decades. The popular belief is that extreme emotion is the basis for people's spirits to hang around long after the body has died. The extreme emotion being a violent death or a death too soon. We can't be sure as we're still alive. There are varying theories, some plausible, some not so much. I'll go over the types of hauntings and give my thoughts on these. As always, use your own judgment. First thing we're going to talk about are residual hauntings. These are the types of hauntings that seem to replay over and over again. A ghost is seen walking through a house, showing no evidence that it sees anyone else there. The living are often startled by these events and they seek to discern why the ghost is there, or they try to make contact. My theory is this place, wherever it is where the ghost is most comfortable. It was their home for so long and they're happy there. There are no poltergeist activities in these types of haunting, no objects moving about on their own or the like. One theory posited is that this type of encounter is connected to what's called the stone tape theory. The stone tape theory is thought to happen because mental impressions can be projected during emotional or traumatic events as energy. This energy is then absorbed into the very fabric of the home and replayed over and over until under certain circumstances. It could be seasonal, like around the holidays. I had an experience in Chicago once while living with my mother just before Thanksgiving holiday. My mother, stepfather, and I were in our family room of our apartment just chatting about the upcoming family gathering when a figure of a man walked past the doorway of the room we were in. I saw the figure, as did my mother and stepfather. My stepfather got up and grabbed a baseball bat and started looking all around the apartment for this person. Now, all of the doors leading to the outside were securely locked and no windows were broken. After a few minutes of searching, my stepfather came back to the room where my mother and I were, and he was frustrated and angry. "Did you see that guy walk through here?" my stepfather asked. "Yes," my mother and I answered in unison. "Where'd he go?" "Did you check all the doors?" my mom asked. "Yeah," his temper cooling some. "And they're all locked up tight, right?" my mom asked. "Yeah." "And the windows aren't broke?" I chimed in. "No, nothing's broke," my stepfather said. "And there's no other person in the apartment, right?" my mom asked. "No, but this guy just walked through the hallway right in front of us." "It's a ghost," I said. "There's no such things as ghosts. Come on." "Well, where is he then?" my mom asked. And that was the end of that story. He just disappeared. Was it just because of the time of year that we all saw this figure walking through the apartment? I can't say for sure, but he was there. Maybe because he was comfortable there. Maybe it was the time of year that made this figure present itself to us. To me, in my not-so-scientific mind, this would be the very essence of stone tape theory. A life of pleasant memories turned into energy and absorbed into the walls of our then apartment allowed this vision of a person to be revealed to us due to our collective excitement for the upcoming holidays, adding to that very energy. In my opinion, not all ghosts and spirits reveal themselves due to traumatic events. Sometimes they're just happy where they lived. Intelligent hauntings. These tend to be more active events, with knocks in response to direct questions or objects moving about seemingly on their own. In my last posting, I told of a philosopher in ancient times seeing a spirit who was chained and buried in the garden. This is an intelligent haunting. The spirit needed help in some way, and the philosopher gave it, and the spirit was never seen again. Some type of unfinished business or traumatic event holds these souls on our plane. The spirit could have unfinished business, or they could have died so suddenly that they don't realize they're dead. Living members of their family could be so emotionally distraught that the spirit cannot move on until the living come to terms with their demise. Sometimes there is fear of judgment in the afterlife that holds a spirit here. Whatever the reason, the specter of a human soul still holds some degree of consciousness and interacts in ways with the living. This is the very definition of an intelligent haunting. The main thing to remember is that in either of these types of hauntings, the spirits, ghosts, or souls were once human. They are not demonic, as some tend to ascribe to these events. Demonic entities, poltergeists, doppelgangers, and the like are not, nor have they ever been, human souls. And therefore, that's a whole different ballgame. So in conclusion, dear reader, please understand the difference between residual hauntings and intelligent hauntings. And as always, keep searching for your answers.
This has been Into the Dark with Mike Davis, a Dragon Bear Media production. Follow our journey into the dark on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Radio Public.